Hello knitters, welcome back to Rena Knits. In this week's video, we're going to be learning how to make small little bunnies. So it's not added, it's just using the yarn that we have and making those bunnies. You could either make them one on top of the other, or you can make them one after another. This is a simple pattern that can be used on any project that you have going. Either it be a scarf, a blanket, a dress, a sweater, or even a hat. So try it out and let me know your thoughts. For this week, we're going to make bunnies as one of the patterns. Now here, if you notice, this is his bottom part, his feet right here. Then these are his hands, his face, and these are his ears right here. So we are going to make this bunny. In order to make this bunny, it's a combination of 8 plus 2 stitches. So you would need 8 stitches to for the pattern, and then 1 stitch on either side, kind of like as a border. For demonstration purposes, I have cast on 24 stitches. For row 1, we're going to start off straight with the pattern. Now on either side, I'm going to have 3 stitches that are going to be for my border. So, and then 2 in the middle, because the pattern itself is only for 8 stitches. So what I'm going to do is purl 3 to begin with. Then I'm going to do a cable stitch with the stitches in the back. So it's a C4B cable. So I'm going to put my first 2 stitches on a stitch holder. I'm just using a crochet hook, but put it in the back and then knit these 2, and then knit the rest. Knit the other 2. And then go straight into C4F. So you're going to knit 4 stitches, but 2 stitches after the next 2 stitches, and these 2 stitches are going to be in the front. And then you're going to purl 2 and repeat. C4B and then C4 up. And you're going to keep doing this till the end of your row. And then when you come to the last few stitches, depending on how big a border you've wanted for your project, you're going to purl the remaining stitches. Now C4F. and the remaining 3 I am going to purl. For row 2, you're going to knit the knits and purl the purls. So you're just going to follow the pattern that you see. So I have 3 knits on the first. So I'm going to knit these 3. And I'm going to purl my 8. And you're going to repeat this till the end of the row. Wherever you see purls, you're going to purl. Wherever you see knit, you're going to knit. You are now going to do the same as you did in row 2, but just the opposite. So you're going to purl the purls and knit the knits. So I'm going to have the first 3 as my purl. And then my next 8 as knits. So wherever you see a knit stitch, you're going to knit. Wherever you see a purl stitch, you're going to purl. And the last 3 are going to be purl. Now, you've done this for row 2 and 3. You're going to repeat row 2 and 3 for another 4 rows. So, till you reach row 9. So repeat row 2 and 3 for another 4 times till you reach row 9. Once you've repeated rows 2 and 3 for the remaining 4 times, what we're now going to do are the hands. So if you see these 2 little bubbles here, that is what we're going to create. That is where we are. We're going to make those hands. So how you're going to do that is you're going to do, so this is row 9. You're going to purl 3 times to get to our pattern. This is just the border. And now what you're going to do is knit 2, flip over, and purl 2. And then you're going to go back and purl those 2 that you knitted. And then you're going to flip over, and you're going to knit 2. Flip over, and you're going to purl those same 2. So you're going to basically do a stockinette pattern for these 2 stitches, and you're going to do these 6 times. So you're going to repeat this 6 times for this until we move forward. And 6. So once you've finished knitting your 6th on the right side, what you're going to do now is continue knitting the remaining stitches. So you're going to finish off here, and then you're going to knit 4 more. And here's your 1 hand, and you're now going to create your 2nd hand. So these 2 stitches are going to be knit, you're going to knit these 7 times. So 1, and then flip over to purl those same 2 stitches. Flip over again, and you're going to do this 6 more times. Once you've done your 6th row, you will continue moving forward, and because you're going to purl these two, because there is a division between the two bunnies in my case. So I'm going to purl these two, and then again I'm going to repeat the pattern. So I'm going to knit these 2 stitches 6 times, and then continue on with the 4 knits, and then again the last 2 stitches to make the bunny's arms 6 times, and then the last 3 stitches I'm going to purl. So you will continue the same pattern till the end of the row, depending on how many bunnies you're making in that row. Here I've completed my row, so now my last 3 stitches I am going to purl. And now I'm at row 10. So for row 10, every knitted stitch is going to be knits, every purl stitch is going to be purl till the end of the row. So all stitches that show as knits are going to be knit. So my first 3 stitches are going to be knits. And then my next 8 are going to be purl. And then these 2 are knits. Now row 11 is going to be cable stitching again. So you're going to have the first 3 that are going to be purls. Then you're going to go straight into the cable. So you're going to do C4B and then C4F. So you're basically going to take your first 2 stitches and put them in a stitch holder and move them to the back, and you're going to knit the next 2 stitches. And then you're going to knit the other 2 that were in the back on your stitch holder. And then you're going to do the same cable stitch, but this time in the front. So you're going to take the first 2 stitches, put them in the placeholder, and move them to the front, and then you're going to knit 2, and then take these off and knit these. The next 2 of mine are going to be purls, and then I'm going to repeat again. So first 4 stitches are cable stitch with in the back, and my last 3 stitches are all purls. Now once you've done this, you've basically created the bottom portion of your bunny. So here's the feet right here. This is the body. This is the 2 arms. So this is the bottom part of the body. These are the 2 hands. Now you're creating the top part of your body before you get to your ears. So you created the 2 feet. This is your body with the 2 arms. Now you're creating the face, and then you'll finish off with the ears. So we're right here, and we're now creating this face. before we get to the ears. So for the next 5 rows, you're basically going to repeat what we did for row 2 and 3. So your back rows, all your even rows are going to be knit the knits and purl the purls. So row 12, I'm going to knit everywhere where I see knitted stitches and purl all the purl stitches. So my first 3 stitches are knit. And here, now I'm at row 13. So for row 13, I'm going to purl the first 3 stitches. And then knit the next 8. And then I'm going to keep purling the purls and knitting the knits till the end of the row. And you're going to continue this till you get to row 18. Once you've finished up to row 17 and you're at row 18, here is where we're going to start creating the ears, as you can see here on the previous ones. So we're right here, and we're going to start creating the ears to finish off the bunny. So you're going to begin by purling the 3 that are your border, and then we're going to get onto the 8 stitches that make up your actual bunny pattern. So let's purl the first 3. And now within the pattern, you're going to purl 1, and then you're going to do cabling but slightly different. So you're going to take 1 stitch and move it onto your stitch holder and put it to the front, and then you're going to knit 2. So you're going to knit 2 stitches, and then you're going to bring this one back and knit it. And then for the next 3, you're going to just do the opposite. You're going to bring 2 stitches onto the stitch holder and move them to the back, knit 1, and then bring these 2 back onto your needle and knit. Your last stitch in the 8 stitches that you have for the pattern, you're going to knit. Then I had these 2 stitches as my division between the 2 bunnies on my project, so I'm going to just purl these 2. And again, I'm going to repeat the pattern. I'm going to purl the first one, then I'm going to do the cabling. So I'm going to take 1 stitch, move it to my stitch holder, and put it in the front and knit 2. Then I'm going to bring this one back and knit. Then I'm going to take 2 stitches and move it onto my stitch holder and knit 1, and then bring these ones back and knit them. And my last stitch, I'm going to knit. And you end your row by keeping that border at the end. And now mine has 3 stitches, so I'm going to purl 3 of those. So then for row 19, you're going to knit the knits and purl the purls, pretty much. For row 20, what you're going to do is you are going to start off by purling your border. So 3 stitches are going to be purl. Then you're going to knit 2. Now, once you've done those 2 knits, this one, for these 2, it's going to be slightly different. You're actually going to knit this one first and then purl this one second. So you could use a stitch marker and move this one to the front, and you're going to knit this one and then bring this one back, and you're going to purl this one. And for the next 2, you're going to do the same. So you can move this one forward back onto this, but now you're going to purl first and then bring this one back onto your needle, and then you're going to knit this one. So here we're just making the ears, as you see right here. And the last 2 are going to be just knit. Again, I have the 2 stitches in between as the division between my 2 bunnies, so I'm going to purl these 2, and then I'll repeat again the pattern for the 8 stitches. So the first 2 stitches you're going to knit. Then you're going to knit this one first and then purl this one. I'll make it easier. So you're going to knit this first, then you're going to purl this one, purl this, and now just the opposite. You're going to purl first and knit second, so you're going to move this here, you're going to purl this one, and then you're going to bring this one back to knit, and you're going to knit this one, and then you're going to finish off by knitting the remaining 2 and then purling the remaining 3 that are your border. So you will continue this till your end of the row, depending on how many bunnies you have on one row, and you'll do that. Your row 21 will basically be, again, knit all knit and purl all purls. Okay, so for row 22, we're basically going to finish making the ear, so we're going to move what we were doing here further down 1 on either side to complete the ear for the bunny. For row 22, again, you're going to do the 3 purls for your border. So you're going to first purl your border, then you're going to knit 1. So instead of 2, now we're going to knit 1, and then we're going to do the second one first and then the first one. So just move this one onto a stitch marker, move it to the front, you're going to knit this one first, and then you're going to purl the one that's on your stitch marker. And now here we're going to purl 2 to create the division between the 2 ears, and then again we're going to this time purl this first and then knit this. So we're going to move this into the stitch marker, purl this one first, and then knit this one on the stitch marker. And the last one is going to be our knit for our pattern. And here, as you can see, we've created the ears. And now we're going to purl the 2 that is the division between my 2 bunnies, and again I'm going to repeat the pattern. So I'm going to knit one, then I'm going to knit this one first and then purl that one. So we're going to move this into the stitch marker, knit this one first, move this there, and purl this one, and then I'm going to purl two in between, and then again I'm going to purl first, and then I'm going to knit this one. And my last stitch for that pattern is a knit, and then I'm finishing up the row with the 3 purls for my border. So you will continue that till you finish all your bunnies in your row. And as you can see, here's my little rabbit with these 2 ears right here. If you like this video, don't forget to click that like button. And if you're new, welcome. Don't forget to click that subscribe button to get the latest videos on knitting projects, knitting patterns, knitting ideas, and much more. Relax, enjoy, and keep knitting.